Have you ever heard of a kingdom that only appears when the mist descends? Not under the bright sun, not beneath the starry night, but in the hushed silence when the world is veiled in fog. Tonight, step with me into a legend. A hidden kingdom, a broken throne, and secrets waiting to be revealed. This is the tale of the Eternal Mist Kingdom, the Hidden Throne. Hello friends! Tonight, let's listen to a story. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and let your imagination fly with this tale. There lingered a legend whispered from generation to generation. It spoke of a kingdom that could not be seen on clear days, nor under star-filled skies. It appeared only when the mist grew so thick it swallowed valleys and woodlands alike. They called it the Eternal Mist Kingdom. Prince Alaric, the second son of the Verdane dynasty, had grown up listening to the legend. Unlike his elder brother, who busied himself with affairs of state and ambition for the throne, Alaric's heart was forever drawn to mysteries, two places unmapped, two stories half forgotten, and two truths the world refused to speak of. One pale night, when the moon hung like a silver coin in the heavens, Alaric sat upon the tower balcony and watched the mist roll slowly into the valley. The air trembled, carrying with it a strange pull, as though it called to something deep within his chest. The Eternal Mist Kingdom. Could you be real? He whispered. At dawn, he made his decision. Without alerting his family or court, Alaric saddled his loyal black steed, Nyx, and set out alone. He carried only a short sword, a warm cloak, and his grandfather's ancient compass. The forest grew stranger the deeper he ventured. Trees bent as if watching him, their leaves shimmering with dew that glowed faintly. Whispers drifted on the air, sometimes a murmur, sometimes a chant, ancient and haunting. Alaric gripped his sword, steadying his resolve. If the legend holds truth, then this road must lead me there. Hours passed, until the mist ahead shifted like a curtain being drawn aside. Beyond it, his breath caught. There, within the valley, rose a kingdom unlike any he had ever known. White towers stretched towards the heavens, etched with gold that glimmered beneath the moonlight. Streets of crystal stone gleamed faintly, and bridges arched across silver rivers. Yet the silence was absolute. No merchants, no guards, no children's laughter. Alaric dismounted, his boots echoing softly on the empty crystal road. His heart pounded with awe and dread. The kingdom was real yet lifeless. At the central square, a voice drifted from the mist, low and melodic. Welcome, foreign heir. You have crossed the veil, few have dared. From the shifting fog stepped a tall woman clad in a gown woven of silver mist itself. Her hair spilled like moonlight, her eyes gleamed with pale azure fire. I am Seraphine, she said, her voice both tender and commanding. Guardian of the Eternal Mist Kingdom, your arrival, Prince Alaric, was foretold. Alaric steadied himself. Why me? I am but a wanderer. Her lips curved in a faint smile. No one enters this realm unbidden. You seek truth, and truth has led you here. Around them, the mist writhed and shifted, revealing ghostly shapes, figures of men and women, dressed as royals and townsfolk, moving without sound. They seemed real, yet faded, like memories too fragile to remain whole. Alaric's chest tightened. Are they? The people of this kingdom? Seraphine bowed her head. They are echoes of what once was. This kingdom is trapped between worlds, half alive, half lost. The throne of Ethor, heart of our power, was fractured by a curse. Now we exist only in the mist, shadows of our true selves. Alaric's grip tightened on his sword. Then there must be a way to free them. Her gaze pierced his, searching. There is, but the path is perilous. Only one who dares face the truths within his own soul may walk it. Tell me, Prince, will you try? Alaric lifted his head, his voice firm, though his heart raced. If I was called here, then I shall not turn away. Show me the path. Seraphine's eyes softened, though her expression remained solemn. So be it. Then your journey begins tonight. Seraphine led Alaric along winding paths lit by pale, floating flames that shimmered like ghostly lanterns. Nyx, his steed, followed calmly behind, its hooves making no sound upon the crystal ground. To reach the throne of Ethor, Seraphine said softly, and the trial of the heart. Only then will the throne accept your hand. Alaric's grip tightened around his sword, though he forced his voice steady. Then I am ready. They stopped before a vast gate of black obsidian, carved with stars that pulsed faintly with inner light. The ground trembled as a voice like rolling thunder echoed all around. First, the trial of courage. The gates split apart, and Alaric stepped forward. The world changed in an instant. He now stood upon the edge of a bottomless chasm, wind howling as though to drag him into the abyss. From the mist rose a colossal dragon, its form woven from smoke and shadow, eyes glowing crimson. Alaric's heart hammered, but he raised his sword. You may be made of mist, he said through clenched teeth, but the fear you stir in me is real. The dragon roared, exhaling scorching vapor that singed his skin. The ground beneath him shook, daring him to falter. Yet, Alaric stepped forward, his gaze locked upon the beast's burning eyes. I am not here to conquer you, he declared. I am here to conquer myself. The dragon froze. Then its vast form shattered into shards of light, scattering into the air like broken stars. The abyss beneath his feet vanished, leaving only solid crystal beneath him once more. The trial of courage is complete. Alaric breathed heavily, lowering his sword. His chest still throbbed with the echo of fear, but his resolve was firmer than before. Beyond the gate, Seraphine awaited him. There was the faintest curve of a smile upon her lips. You did not flee. That is good. Now comes the second. They walked onward until the landscape shifted into a great hall of floating shelves and endless tomes. Scrolls glimmered like constellations in the air, drifting through the dark void. This, Seraphine whispered, is the trial of wisdom. From the shadows emerged a cloaked figure, ancient and stern, holding a single glowing scroll. The figure's voice rang like steel. Read, an answer. Fail, and remain lost within this labyrinth of knowledge for all eternity. Alaric accepted the scroll. When he unrolled it, the letters shifted like starlight, rearranging themselves until they formed a single question. Which bears the greater burden? The crown of a king, or the life of a commoner? Alaric frowned. The question was deceptively simple, yet heavy with truth. He remembered his father, the weary king, eyes shadowed by endless duty. He remembered too the market folk, living in hardship, yet smiling despite their hunger. At last, he spoke. Both burdens weigh heavy. The king bears the fate of many, while the commoner bears the pain of survival. One cannot exist without the other. Neither is greater, for each is vital to the balance of life. The cloaked figure regarded him in silence, before dissolving into silver dust. The shelves collapsed into streams of light, revealing an open path ahead. The trial of wisdom is complete. Alaric stepped forward, his mind echoing with his own. Words, balance, responsibility, connection. These truths were heavier than any sword. Finally, they came to a vast lake, its waters smooth as glass, reflecting the pale moon above. Mist hovered thick over its surface, curling like spirits unbound. This is the last, Seraphine said, her voice gentler than before. The trial of the heart, the most difficult of all. Alaric peered into the water. Shapes formed within the mist faces he knew too well. His mother, long dead, his elder brother, the heir who always cast him aside. And then his own reflection, staring back with eyes full of doubt. Voices rose, cruel and sharp. You are not enough. You are but a shadow, not a true heir. You will fail, as you always have. Alaric staggered, clutching his chest. These words pierced deeper than any blade. for they echoed the very fears he had hidden from himself. He knelt by the water's edge, trembling. Yet slowly, memory rose within him, the dragon, the riddle, the steps he had already taken. He drew strength from them. At last, he faced his reflection and spoke. Perhaps I am not the strongest. Perhaps I was never destined for crowns or glory. But I am still myself, and that is enough. The mist shimmered, the voices fell silent, the faces dissolved into light, leaving only the calm lake reflecting his steady gaze. The trial of the heart is complete. Seraphine stepped forward, her eyes soft and luminous. You have passed them all, Alaric. The path to the throne of Ethor lies open before you. Alaric rose, his breath ragged, yet his spirit whole. He knew the hardest choice still awaited him, but he was ready. At the heart of the misty kingdom lay a chamber carved not from stone, but from pure starlight. Its walls shimmered with constellations, and at its center stood the throne of Ethervast, radiant, yet strangely unassuming. Unlike the thrones of mortal kings, it was not adorned with jewels or gold. It was simple, carved of translucent crystal, as though it were shaped from frozen dawn. Alaric stepped forward, his boots silent upon the glowing floor. The air was thick with a hum like a chorus of voices, low and ancient, speaking without words. Seraphine did not follow. She remained at the threshold, her silver wings folded, her gaze heavy with meaning. This choice is yours alone, she whispered. Alaric approached the throne. Yet, as he reached out, the chamber dissolved into darkness, and a voice unlike any other filled the air. You have passed the trials, but tell me, Alaric of Arendar, why do you seek the throne? The question struck him deep. For a long moment, he could not answer. He thought of his kingdom, torn by greed and fear. He thought of his father, weary upon a throne that had never brought peace. He thought of his own desire to prove himself to be more than a forgotten prince. But when his lips parted, what came forth surprised even him. I seek not power, he said softly. I seek the strength to heal. If I take this throne, let it not bind me in chains of pride, but let it serve those who have none. Let it be a light, not a burden. The silence deepened, then the throne of Ethor blazed with radiance, filling the chamber with waves of warmth and light. Yet, the voice returned, firmer, sharper. To claim the throne, you must make a sacrifice. A throne cannot exist without cost. What will you surrender, Alaric? He faltered. His hand trembled. Sacrifice. He had already given so much: his comfort, his fears, his pride. What else could the throne demand? Images flickered before him. His steed, Nyx, faithful as the stars. Seraphine, who had guided him with patience. His own life of freedom. His dreams of walking paths unbound by duty. He closed his eyes. Slowly, painfully, he whispered, if the throne demands my freedom, then take it. Let me never again walk where I choose. Let my path be bound to service, if only it may save those I love. The chamber shook, the throne pulsed. Seraphine gasped softly at the threshold. Then silence. Alaric opened his eyes to find the throne transformed. It no longer stood as crystal alone, it now shone with fragments of his sacrifice. Carrying the weight of his vow, he stepped forward and sat upon it. The moment he did, the mist of the kingdom lifted, the skies above cleared, revealing constellations brighter than ever before. Rivers of light flowed through the land, reviving the withered and healing the broken. Across distant kingdoms, people looked to the sky and felt a calm they could not explain. Seraphine approached, her expression unreadable, though her eyes glimmered with pride. You have done what few ever could. The throne has accepted you not as its master, but as its servant. Alaric looked down at his hands. They glowed faintly, runes of light etching into his skin. He was no longer merely a prince. He was now bound to the throne, a guardian of the balance between kingdoms and stars. Will I ever be free again? He asked, his voice quiet. Seraphine's smile was tinged with sorrow. Freedom is not lost, only changed. You are free in ways you cannot yet see. He did not fully understand. But as the starlight washed over him, he felt no regret. For the first time, his heart was steady, and so Alaric, once the overlooked son of Arendar, became the keeper of the hidden throne. The prince who traded freedom for light, who bore not a crown of gold, but the eternal weight of hope. From that day, when the mist rose at dawn, whispers of his sacrifice traveled upon the winds. Some called him a king, others called him a servant of the stars. But in truth, he was something greater, a beacon